Welcome to Ring Talk, episode 149. I'm back. You've sacked Kev off. He's, Kev who. You get me, Martin Theobald, back on Goodwin Boxing with Steve Goodwin, episode 149. How are you, Steve?
I'm good. It's the first one, Ring Talk, of 6 months, and probably the first one you've done for about a year, isn't it?
It probably is. So, Kev, let's touch on Kev quickly, I suppose. Some people will know, some people won't, where Kev has gone.
Yeah. So Kev's gone to Sky Sports and he's working with Boxer and he's working alongside John Wishausen, doing a lot of the big boxing stuff and big boxing decisions. So he's got a very, very good role there. I think he's enjoying it. He came back and helped out at our show when I was on holiday a week ago. So we're still very good friends and we're all close, still all mates together. But, it was too big an opportunity for him to turn down. So good luck to him. And he's got his role at Sky.
Yeah, and I'm sure Kev will end up watching this at some point. And congratulations to him. And I know he was in sort of two minds about it for a long time, about whether it was the right thing for him to do or not, and sort of lifestyle and working with yourself. And sort of he felt indebted for all the time and effort that you've put in with him over the years. But I also know that you sort of wanted him to go and live out his boxing dreams on a massive platform. So
yeah, because you're only going to get one chance at doing that, right? So if he turns it down, he was never going to get the chance again. So he had to take it. It was the right. I mean, I've been telling him, not in a bad way, as his friend, you should take this. You need to take this role. It's too good to turn down. So I think he's enjoying it. So good luck to him, and I hope he does. Hope he does phenomenally well. I'm sure
he's 100% the right man to go and do it. I've told him personally, privately, he is the right person to go and do it. His wealth of knowledge, with the years ahead of him that he can sort of put into it, he will smash that role entirely.
Exactly. So good luck to him.
But Kev who? Can't remember. Yeah, right. We'll move on. So Saturday night, Box Mania. There's a big, huge small hall card coming up. Not as big as it once was. There've been a few that have had to shift off. William Webber has had to move.
Lauren Parker.
Yeah. So I mean, when it was sort of first out, it was extra large. It's now large for a small hall show.
Yes.
And there are still massive title fights, massive names, a new name in the Goodwin stable that we're going to come on to. Let's start with the top of the bill, Chef. And I don't even know what the official top of the bill is, so I'll leave it to you.
Well, there are 3 fights, 1 Southern Area and 2 English titles, that are all worthy of TV. All 3 of these fights could be on TV shows, and people would tune in and be, God, these are amazing fights. But we've got 3 of them together. Now, in terms of the crowd there, this is going to be, you're doing right. It's going to be sold out. This concept is going to develop. It's going to be every 3 months. We're going to try and do one of these. We're going to have 2 baby shows and a Box Mania. And the idea of Box Mania is to create a whole new concept where small hall ventures into the big time with big nights, with big fights. And these are going to turn around to TV companies and go, you go and create competitive nights like this, because they don't. And we want to show that this is how small hall boxing should be. We can't do it with every show, but we can do it once a quarter. And the idea being, maybe a TV company will turn around and go, yeah, we want this is going to be a good product for us to have, because they should be doing it, showing it. Or we will just show other small hall promoters what they should get together and try to do, raise the bar.
Yeah, raise the standards, and that's what it will do on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Both in the ring and out the ring is worth touch on as well, because you're going to bring back the big screens, aren't you, for the ring walks? Am I right in thinking you've got the lighting above the ring that's going on as well, which will make my friend Lewis Moore particularly happy from a photography perspective, because he gets good lighting. Yeah. But it adds that big night feeling to it.
Yeah, and that's the idea. And we can't afford to do it on every show. We can't. And to say we struggle financially at small hall with all the costs and everything what's going on at the moment. But we're going to try and do this every quarter and just bring humongous things. I mean, we've got one in December at the moment, and we've got 6 or 7 title fights lined up for December. So this is huge, and we're just literally going to plan these 3 months ahead. So,
So let's talk about Saturday night then. Where do you want to start?
Well, let's start with the last fight of the card. Let's go from the back end. Brad Paul's Mitchell Frierson, English middleweight title.
Yeah. Now, Mitchell's undefeated.
Yeah.
Brad has got the defeat to Tyler Denny on his record, where hopefully lots of people saw that. It's on a big platform.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't sort of disgrace himself in that fight. And we're seeing Tyler Denny going on now to fight for a European title. Shows the level that he's at. Shows how good that Linus Udofia win against Tyler Denny was as well.
Correct.
I'm sure Linus will be down supporting Brad on Saturday night. You manage both lads, so it's not really fair to put you on the spot and ask for an outcome from it. But what will the outcome be?
We'll see on Saturday night. I'm not going to. I think so. The way, let's just look at it from the perspective of where we are. For Brad Pauls, it's a quick route back to an English title shot after the Tyler Denny, so it's fantastic for him. For Mitchell Frierson, Mitchell really was aiming towards a Southern Area title. And when this opportunity came up, Mitchell has got a chance to leapfrog the Southern Area and fight for the English title. Now, for both of them, it's a crunch. Now, for Brad, he's already been at this level and won the Southern Area. So for him, it's must win. For Mitchell, let's say he comes up short. Let's say he does. He could drop down, pick up a Southern Area, come back again. For Brad, if he falters at English level again, I'm not sure what he will do. I think you've got the big punch in Brad Pauls against one of the most improved, and he is one of the most improved small hall boxers on the circuit in Mitchell Frierson. So you've got a clash of styles, you've got Brad, who is the come forward puncher. Mitchell Frierson's got a lot of boxing ability. It's a really, really good fight, but it's the right fight for both. And they're at different stages of their career because Brad's had his chance at the big time. Mitchell hasn't yet. But what I would say, it's a great fight. Now, a lot of people I've spoken to, and I don't know what you feel, they think Brad could get this done early. And others say if Brad doesn't get it done early, he could be in trouble in the second half of the fight with Mitchell Frierson. So it's quite an interesting thing that the ones that favour Brad think he's going to do it by stoppage. And the ones that favour Mitchell Frierson think that he's just got to get through the first few rounds and take Brad into the later rounds.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably a smart, if you're a betting person, a smart analysis of it. It'll be interesting to see. It's the first real step back up for Brad since that Tyler Denny fight. So it'll be interesting to see how he sort of reacts if he's put under adversity as well.
Mitchell, honestly, he's so improved. So improved.
Yeah, no, I agree. Moving on, we haven't got all the time in the world. We got a fighter that you've spoken highly of for years, Denis Denekachev, versus another of your fighters, Sajid Habib,
who I also think has been amazing. He's come to London, won an eliminator, won a final eliminator, and looked good in doing so. I mean, this is really a fight of two super talented prospects who both beat Campbell Hatton today. Both of them would beat him, in my opinion. They are both capable of going to a higher level, in my opinion. But it was sometimes when you've got people making crazy demands, this ended up being the easiest fight to make because both of them wanted to fight and they both wanted to make it work so they could both earn some money out of it. So it works that both of them can fight, both of them can get paid on a small hall, and the winners could go on to massive things. The loser can come again because it's at English level. It's not the end for either one. Sajid's just had the one loss reversal in Saudi, I think it was Saudi or Dubai. Denis is still undefeated. It's an absolute cracker. If you were a bookmaker for this, you price it up like 10 to 11 both. You wouldn't. Nobody knows. You speak to so many people. It's a 50-50 split on who they think is going to win.
It is. And I really like Sajid as a man, as a person. I don't know Denis, but I've sort of spent a bit of time around Sajid. And yeah, great fight. English super lightweight title. I couldn't tell you who wins, not with any great authority. Yeah, I just look forward to it. But may the best man win. And as you say, for the loser, is no disgrace in not picking up the victory.
Yeah, and the third title fight, that's some fight. Yasser Al-Gainer, the undefeated, who's come back to us, takes on another undefeated fighter in Aaron Prosper, who's with Martin Bowers at the Peacock Gym. It was a fight we made. I know that the Martin Bowers thinks this is I think they think this is a comfortable win for them. I do think that that's the word I'm getting from people that know him. They think that they just take Yasser Al-Gainer into the later rounds. What they're missing is Yasser Al-Gainer's with Andy Gill at Evolve Elite. Trust me, you ain't going to take none of his fighters into the later rounds and think they're going to weaken. That man is a beast. He beasts them. I mean, none of his fighters will ever lack fitness. Never. So if they think Yasser's not got the stamina, whoever thinks that is totally and utterly delusional. I think that Yasser is the better boxer. Aaron is the bigger puncher. I think if Yasser can keep Aaron off and away, I think he'll win. I think he'll outskill him. But the way that they will do is I think they'll try and pressurize Yasser and hope he crumbles under pressure. But in terms of if it's a boxing match, Yasser would win. If it's a standoff punching, who can hit the hardest, Aaron would win. It's a boxer v puncher fight, in my opinion. But what a fight. Again, I can speak to 10 of my friends who are involved. They'd be 5-5 again. They don't know. They don't know.
And it's not, like traditionally, it's not a Southern Area level fight.
No. It's not a fight, ideally, we'd want a Southern Area. We want that as an English title. The problem was the board mandated this to us. So we had no choice. We either had to go with Yasser or we had to pull away. So it really was. We were forced into doing this fight. And Yasser Andy Gill wanted the fight. They wanted the title fight. So it was what we had to do. This wasn't a pick it. We didn't pick Aaron Prosper. We were lumbered with him. Doesn't mean we don't think we can win, but it wasn't. You'd rather have a softer touch for a Southern Area than this.
Yeah. And I think good on both lads as well for not walking away from it, because it would have been very easy for either to say, no thanks.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I'll sit it out and wait.
I've had that today with another fight we've been trying to make. And it was just the reason that they didn't want to do it it's nonsense. But it was just a way of saying I want to walk away from that. I want to fight a soft touch. But yeah, it's just full credit to both. In that example, full credit to both. And again, whoever loses, and again, I think it will be Aaron that loses. He can come again if he loses to Yasser. He can come again. It's not the winner can move on to higher level titles, but the loser can for sure come again and go up to English level and beyond.
Yeah. Let's touch on some of the undercard fights. I've got it in front of me here. Speaking of Andy Gill, we've got Lewis Frimpong on the undercard. Yeah,
unfortunately, he was due to fight Michael Ramablatz, who's now pulled out twice. So we are restructured. There'll be news in the next 2 or 3 weeks on Lewis's next move, but we've been able to keep him on the card with a 6th rounder against Carl Sampson. But Lewis will be fighting for the English title on December the 2nd, for sure.
Brilliant. With an opponent to be confirmed.
With an opponent to be confirmed.
Alfie Clegg against Adam Yahaha.
Now, Alfie Clegg's not ours. He's a Dean White fighter who was on that cancelled show of last week, and we just helped them out by putting him on. I don't know too much about him. He's not my fighter, but I know they're trying to move him on towards titles. But we've just done this to try and, it's important to help other people when they lose their fights, and if you can slot them in, we try our best to do so. So we're just doing them a favour. He's managed by Xavier Miller, who I'm good friends with, and and Dean White's also involved. So good luck to them, and we're just accommodating them on the show. But he's apparently good, and look forward to seeing him.
Yeah, and Dean White and Xavier are both good men, aren't they? They're decent people. George Hennon making his return after sort of being stopped very early on in his title fight.
Yeah, I mean, George had a bit of a problem that when he looked back, he'd missed the weight wrong. He'd done a few things wrong. So I said to him, we don't go straight back in. I just want you back in to just have a fight. And then we'll then look at manoeuvring you to titles again. So this is just really, when you've been knocked out like he was in his last fight, it's stupid to go back into something too competitive. So this is his comeback fight, just to get his foot, but basically get his feet back on the pedals and get himself go through the motions again and get rid of that experience that he had last time.
Another name you've been keen on for a long time, Billy Stanbury.
Yeah, Billy's out. I love Billy. I think he's supremely talented. He's coming all the way from Plymouth. He sold unbelievable amounts of tickets to come from Plymouth. I mean, Jesus, he sells more than some of the London boys do, and all of his people are having to come up on a 5-hour journey.
They love a night out, some of that Plymouth lot.
Yeah, don't they?
I know a few Plymouth folk. They love a night out.
He's actually from Devon. He's from, I think it's Tiverton. So, but it's the same area. But no, he's great on. I'm really looking forward to seeing Billy fight again. So he's out. He was always on this card. We've had some slight add-ons some add-ons to the card following the title fights that have had to be shelved for injury. But Billy was always on, so it was good to give him the opportunity.
Yeah, one that I like, always gives an account of himself, Ross McGuigan, who people might be familiar with from the Vidal Riley fight, didn't go his way. How many people have turned down Vidal Riley? I could give you probably 20 names. Ross didn't. Ross went there and took it. Aggressive, come forward fighter. Yeah, he's all action, Ross.
You know, he's dropping down to light heavyweight now. He's come down. He was 14-4 for the Vidal Riley fight. He's going to weigh in 13 stone, 12 stone, 13 stone on Saturday.
Cool. I just think of those Aussie Jervier. So that Ross McGuigan, he's a big old frame and structure.
He's coming down. He wants to come down now. He's really decided he's going to come down one crack at light heavyweight for titles. That's what he's doing.
Good on him. Good on him. Tom Simmons.
He's off because the opponent pulled out yesterday. He's been replaced by our new signing.
This is what I was going to come on to.
Yeah, Tom basically, his opponent was in. His opponent pulled out on him today, and literally this morning. So we were left without a fight, and we couldn't. You know, there was opportunities of trying to get foreigners in, but there was really it was push coverage. It was going to be too difficult to do it, and we had other fighters that would come on. You know, and so therefore we replaced the fight with another fight that was on somewhere else. So we brought it over to your call.
And then let's come on to a new Goodwin boxing signing who's going to come out and debut on Saturday night. It hasn't really been announced yet, I don't think.
No.
Zach Chelly.
Zach Chelly.
So Zach Chelly has been on pretty much every platform you can imagine. Go back, he was on BT against Umar Sadiq. He's been on The Zone in Eddie's back garden, taking on Jack Cullen. He's recently on Sky, taking on Mark Jeffers. People will know Zach Chelly from his sort of very storied career.
Now he's on Box Mania doing a 4-rounder.
And now he's coming on to Goodwin Box Mania under the new management deal you've got with him. How did it come about? Let's start with that.
Well, it's only a one-off. Don't expect to see him on our shows ever again. This is literally one-off for a particular purpose. I never expect him to box on our shows again, but we just needed to get him out. So Zach has now got a new trainer, Barry O'Connell. Barry O'Connell, who is one of my best friends in boxing. He's somebody I've worked with, and we've been friends for many years. And he's taken over the training of Zach. And Zach was self-managed. And he's made so many mistakes. And Barry said, look, I think you've got all the skills in the world to reach the top, but you need the best manager to do it for you. You don't want to be making any of those decisions yourself. And so therefore they brought me in to bring some management expertise to the whole operation. So Barry will train, Zach will fight, and I will manage. Watch this space. There's going to be some exciting stuff coming.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Sort of outside of the ring, there will be some exciting stuff coming. I'd imagine Saturday night inside the ring, there'll be some exciting stuff coming. Because Zach sort of, I know you and I have had a conversation about it off camera, but what we're familiar with is that he has one way of fighting, and that's sort of on instinct at the moment. And Barry, for the great trainer that he is, right now won't have changed any of that. So I'm sure on Saturday night, we're still going to see that fighter on instinct. He's always exciting, always good value. And a great addition to what was already a pretty big card. Yeah. You get Zach Chelly rock up for a 4-rounder.
There you go. Suits Box Mania. So this sort of stuff. And that's what we're looking for. The Box Mania cards will feature these type of fighters that are going to come in on the undercard of the big title fights. We've got another one planned for December, a big TV name to come on the show. So there's a lot of this all going on for these Box Mania shows. A lot of it.
Brilliant. And that's Saturday night. Rounded off. Have we got everyone?
You've got a couple of others. the debut of a John Cole fighter, Tyler Chambers, really exciting young prospect. He's making his debut, and John I've known for many years, 12 years. And as soon as he told me when he signed somebody to me, I said that the first fight you do, I want to put you on Box Mania, because it'd be lovely for your lad to do that. So he's opening the card at 5:30 with a fight against Michael Mooney on his debut. So good luck to him, and hope it's the start of a very successful career. And that's,
I know John's very selective about who he takes on, isn't he, these days? He's sort of he'll only take somebody on that he thinks has got something in every department that will make them a success.
Exactly that. So that wraps up that card for Saturday. The ringside's all sold out. There's a very few normal tickets left. VIP sold out. Ringside sold out. Can't say any more than that, really. It shows you what happens when you put a good show on.
Can I still come?
No. You can if you're working, because then you get a commentary seat, so you're okay.
Yeah, wait, I've still got to bring my lad and a chaperone.
Yeah, we'll let him come as well. You're okay.
We'll fit him in. We'll fit him in
somewhere.
He loves coming down. I'm going to make sure I sort of take him backstage. He's just started amateur boxing now. He's just been carded.
I saw that. I was going to tell you, I'm going to come and watch him when he fights.
Brilliant. He's just been carded, so he'll be fighting hopefully in the next sort of 12 months. 12 weeks is the idea.
I'm definitely going to come. Providing I'm not out of the country, I'm going to come and watch him.
Lovely. I'll let him know. But yeah, so seeing all those boxers, and this, what people don't appreciate with professional boxers, they're so kind to people that sort of want to be inspired by them. They sit and sort of, while they're having their hand wrapped, have a conversation with them. You know, they don't have to do that. They're in another mind space. They're getting prepared to fight, but they're so good with it. So I look forward to doing that.
That'd be good. Yeah, so we're looking forward to seeing him. So it'll be Saturday, so that'll be good. Yeah, so it is good. The atmosphere in there is going to be electric. Yeah. I mean, 2nd of December, we've just added on the new Albanian king or whatever after Florian Marku. Dennis Balazzi fought last week at your call. Jesus, the atmosphere when he fought. It was so he's coming on the next Box Mania. I mean, everybody that's got something about them will get an invite to Box Mania, and that's how it's going to work. So
it should be aspirational. People should be working to get on there.
Yeah, and that's what's going to happen. So to get on Box Mania, you've got to be in a really competitive fight, or you've got to bring something extra to the show. That's how it's going to be going forward from December. It'll improve each show. It will just improve.
Brilliant.
So, great.
And so to finalise it, what time do doors open Saturday?
4:30. And all I would say to people is beware the queue. There will be queues, because it's going to be a packed out arena. There will be queues, so please get there early. Yeah,
and get your ticket in advance for what is remaining. Presumably only balcony ones remaining.
And there's not many. We've probably got, as we sit here today, about 40 tickets left, and that includes.
Wow.
That's it. That's all we have. So. Yeah.
Bad. Right, what a show. Saturday night, get down, you're cool, and you'll just be entertained throughout the whole show. It'll be brilliant.
Brilliant. It'll be great. You'll enjoy. Everybody will enjoy it. It's a really great night to go out to, and make sure you don't go home early, because those last 3 fights are absolutely outstanding.
Yeah. Outstanding. Yeah. General world of boxing. I don't know about you. I've lost momentum with the general world of boxing. Sort of, it's always the UK under a microscope, because that's what the sort of main interest is. Joe Joyce this weekend taking on Zhang. How do you see it going?
Well, I generally don't think I can make a prediction, because Joyce has got to change it up. I would probably go with Joyce, but not with any great conviction.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think I'd probably be the same, maybe on points, but I don't know. I think there was this sort of aura about Joe Joyce, whereby it was as if he was made of concrete and you couldn't damage him. But it turns out you can. And so I'm a little bit, not disappointed in him, because it's, his face. But disappointed with the outcome of the last fight. It's sort of shown his human side.
Not really. I don't know. I'm just being honest, and it's not because we've got a show. I'd much rather be at your call watching the 3 top of the bills than I would be going to Wembley to watch Joe Joyce against Zhang, because Yeah, I know which fight. I know what fights are going to entertain more.
Yeah, and I know your ex-fighter, now top media member, Rakeem Noble. I was chatting with him, and he said he had the choice of going to either, and he picked yours.
Yeah, did he? Fair. He's made a good decision because I think it's the right decision for him, because anybody that's really into boxing would know this is the place to be on Saturday without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, so you'll find Rack Noble somewhere down there at your call on Saturday.
He's a good man. He is. I like it.
Yeah.
I like the king.
And what else going on in the world of boxing? People failing drugs tests here, there, and everywhere.
What's happening is people, I think, are getting too lax. I mean, we know that the drug taking is rife. We know that they're just ahead of the game. We know that if you've got enough money, you beat the system. You just throw money at it to stop it. It's funny, though, how another one was banned today. Is it Sokolowski?
Yeah.
These ones get 3-4 years. The ones with no money, with no backing, can't lawyer up. They just get the nice easy ban, so they get the headlines. And the ones that lawyer up, plead innocence, try and get lenient bans, find a reason to try and get out of it. I mean, and are you going to believe that all of these top boxers that get caught were innocent? I mean, of course, it's just nonsense.
Just really unlucky. Really unlucky.
More than once.
Yeah, no, it is. I've sort of banged the drum for many years that I'm convinced, to get to the top level of the sport, you have to maybe find those edges to be able to do so. Now, what's changed, I don't know whether it is people have got a bit complacent or whether there has been a change in the testing that perhaps people weren't aware of, and now they're getting caught with things in their system that may have been there for many years, but now there's, I don't know, perhaps a test that's picking them up. Who knows? But
I'm glad more people are getting caught.
Yeah. And sort of, I'm fed up of seeing, and people consider me to be anti-Matchroom. I'm not anti-Matchroom. I'm not anti-anyone. I'm fed up of seeing people saying, oh, yeah, well, Eddie Hearn works with all these drug cheats. No, it's not on Eddie Hearn what somebody's putting into their system. I would praise Eddie Hearn for investing the money into
doing it. Now, it should be praised, not criticised. So because what Sky was saying, I don't know if it's true, they're hardly doing any drug testing. Well, of course, they're not going to get any failings. You've got to praise Eddie Hearn for getting the failings, not criticising him.
Yeah, I completely agree. Good on the man for investing the money into the fights to catch the fighters doing wrong. It's not his fault that they may take 3 weeks to get the results back. It's not his fault these people are putting things into their systems. All that he can do is try and tighten the noose.
And if anybody believes that because you're fighting on a Matchroom card, you're going to cheat more, it's ridiculous. It's just they're not getting tested and caught on the other platforms.
Yeah, I mean, I know the other side of that is he's also trying to get somebody out of a failed drugs test.
So moving from that point of view, that's a little bit, because it suits him on that side. He's going to he'll bat on two sides, won't he, Eddie? He'll bat on whatever suits him. He'll play the anti-drugs man, but when he gets one of his prized assets caught, he's going to play the other side of the wicket.
You can't blame him. Come on, it's his kind of cash cow of Conor Benn. Of course, at this point, I'd imagine there's so much money sunk into that whole scenario. You probably want to be making sure you get some out the other end. So
interesting though with the Conor Benn that the board appealed the decision, wasn't it? He was going around, whatever the scenario is, he was going to say, I've been cleared. It was just false narrative, because he was out on a technicality, wasn't he? That they released his suspension, but the board appealed that, so they obviously feel that he's guilty. Because why would you appeal the decision? Well, so it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. And I don't know if you've seen the memorandum from the board last week about they're now clamping down on anybody residing in the UK operating on a foreign license. About this is to do with apparently breaking the rights and immigration laws. You might have that, but there may be another reason for that change as well, that they want to stop people trying to do that. And by the way, I don't disagree with what they're saying. I think what they're saying is 100% right, but there may be more to the decision than the official decision, if you follow me.
Yeah, I'd suspect there's not been an EU directive in the last fortnight that has prompted that. I suspect there's something else that's prompted that. But interestingly, completely unrelated note, I was reading today about one of the biggest PED factories in the world was in Portugal and has been shut down.
Portugal.
Portugal, yeah. I mean, I'm not suggesting that's anything related to anything. But Portugal.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Shut down. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, no, it's on BBC News today. It's yeah. Anyway, completely unrelated to all of that previous talk.
Yeah.
Right, we're back.
We're going to do one next week, Martin. I think we're going to have to review this, don't you? And just
let's get back into the rhythm of doing it.
We'll review this week's stuff, and we'll see. We'll get your superb commentary on the mic this weekend. So that'll be good to hear.
Yeah, I'll be there with anyone that's around. Well, certain people will come and get. I'm sure Linus will be around, for instance. Come and get him to do a fight on commentary.
Jamie Spate's around.
Jamie Spate will be there. Get Rakeem up.
Yeah, exactly.
Dawn around. We'll have a guest booth.
Yeah, sounds good. And who's going to do? Have you got any idea who's going to do the after fight interviews that we're going to be doing for some of the fights? Any idea? Are you going to do it, or are we going to get somebody else to do it?
I'll do it. What is it? No one's told me about it.
But what we're going to do is just after the fights, we're going to do ringside interviews with some of the fighters after we get through the first couple of fights. So in other words, just chatting to the boxers after the fights, like they do.
Yeah, count me in. I'll come and do that.
Perfect. Okay, we'll get you to do that. So that's brilliant. I think it'd be a nice thing to hear crowds listen to what the boxers feel after the fights. I think it's something we're going to just get approval from the board to do. That's the plan.
Definitely. Yeah, count me in. Lovely.
Sounds good. Right, I look forward to seeing you Saturday. It's going to be an amazing night. It's going to be an amazing night.
Saturday night, 4:30, York Hall. Don't come late because you won't get in. Get there early doors, beat the queues, and just have a fantastic night. It'll be awesome.
Exactly. Cheers, Martin. Thanks a lot, my friend. We'll see you there.